It was a magnificent performance by Collingwood last night. Mason Cox was seconded into the starting 23, played an outstanding role for his footy team last night. There are a couple of little moments there. Very keen to speak to the big fella about, but what a role he played, an outstanding team performance, and he's been good enough to join us on the show the day after, the night before. Big fella, thanks for coming on, and congratulations to you and your teammates for what was just a hard-nosed, professional and highly impressive performance last night.
No, I appreciate it, boys, and thanks for having me on. It was a good win over in a hostile environment over there in Adelaide, and it was great, incredible atmosphere, and very fortunate to have so many fans kind of travel over in buses in any which way possible to kind of get over there, and it was good to get the win in front of them.
It seems like you've got gears, and the tail end of the season there was some up and down moments, but when the lights were the brightest, how am I going? You guys stepped up and just played with a level of intensity that was off the charts. How did Craig McRae get you so fizzed up that you were playing like that?
Yeah, I think it comes down a little bit to experience. We've got an incredible group of guys that have played a lot of games and a lot of finals games even at that. So, with a massive. Sorry about that. My car's going off.
That's all right.
You're right, mate. You're a busy man, mate.
He's reversing.
I think just with our experience and everything else, it kind of pays this time of year, and we're very fortunate to have some incredible talent that's been around for a long time with people like Steele and Pendles and these guys that get spoken about a lot, and it's invaluable this time of year whenever, like you said, the bright lights, was it? The bright lights?
It was something like that.
Yeah, when the lights are the brightest.
You played a lot of footy with Darcy Moore. Off the top of your head, can you remember him playing a more decisive game of footy than that?
Man, it was sexy to watch, is like the way I like to put it. Whenever you just see him just coming across and just floating over the top of people taking marks, it was a thing of beauty in the day. And I was talking to some of the other guys, and you could see it almost from a mile away at times. It felt like where he'd just come off his man and be able just to impact aerially. It was it's a credit to him, and leading from the front as our captain is something we love seeing him do.
It was good.
Well, and
his hands were like vices. Hello.
Hang on. You're
it's
driving,
like you're in
the car, there's dinging going all over the joint.
What is going on there?
I'm going to pull over here. This is a bit much.
Oh, yes, please. My goodness, we don't want any accidents on the way home.
It's like you're in a carnival or something. There's just dings and dongs going off everywhere.
Playing a pinball machine.
Correct.
Hey,
I'm looking for a car sponsor is what it is.
Hey, Mace, you had that moment, the 50-metre penalty. We all had those things.
Go ahead, remind me. Please bring it up.
No, what I'm trying to... there's two things I want to know about it. What the hell was going through your head? And secondly, I saw there was a little interaction with a couple of your teammates. How do they respond when someone makes a blue like that?
Look, still learning the game, boys. I'm still figuring it out.
Right.
I'm still not 100% sure what the heck actually happened. I asked for a bit of clarity, didn't get any. So, it was, I wasn't really too sure who the free kick was for. I didn't want to give it to the wrong person, but by the time I actually asked the question, he pinged me for another 50. So, it wasn't ideal, but I think everyone just sometimes just has a laugh given the fact that we won the game. If we would have lost that game, probably wouldn't have looked so good. But
yes.
The fact that we won it, everyone kind of looks at it, has a bit of a chuckle.
And then, look, the red mist kind of descends a little bit, as it does with competitive human beings. And a couple of moments later, you take
a strong bounce back.
Yeah, you take a big mark. And then you inexplicably, I don't know whether you can remember the moment or whether you've seen the vision of it, but inexplicably, you just kind of violently throw your arm back and you nearly knock out about three of your own teammates. What was going on there?
Yeah, sometimes I get a bit fiery in the moment. And Q was grabbed my arm or something. I thought he was an Adelaide player, so I thought I would teach him a lesson. And I turned around and realized it was Isaac. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should.
Oh, mate.
I asked him after that. I did apologize. He said, I don't mind it as long as you get a bit fiery and pissed off. It's the best version of you.
How proud of, as a teammate and presumably a friend of his now, how proud of him individually were you, given the hostility that was clearly being directed towards him?
I think Q's a proud man. He's got an incredible background, incredible story. Just in general with his life. And I think his performance yesterday, like you said, in front of a massive crowd like that was awesome to see. He's definitely stood up on the occasion and performed so well. There's so many 1-on-1, 2-1 over the time, over the 120 minutes, whatever you want to call it. And he's one of those players who just stands up consistently, and it's something we always enjoy.
Pre-game, during the game, or even post-game, did you guys have any conversation about what potentially the fans or what it might have been like for the group, and in particular Isaac with the situation that took place previously?
No, I think that's all that stuff's out of our hands. We try to control the things that we can control, and whatever's going to happen outside of the boundary lines doesn't really matter too much for us. We've got an incredible fan base that kind of travels with us, and that's kind of what we hear beyond the boundary. But the rest of that stuff we don't really let bother us too much. I think someone says it's a water off a duck's back or something like that. I'm not sure, Gazy. Maybe I have to check your.
No, that's spot on. No, spot on.
That the big lights, wasn't too sure.
I tell you, Mason.
No, he's going well. He's in good
form. Cough a little bit.
He's on notice. He better not make one slip up, or else that's it.
You brought up the 50-meter penalty.
Exactly right.
No, but that was just to give you a chance to, because I was with you when I was watching, and I said, hang on a second, that was a pretty quick whistle, because now you might have been sort of a bit of gamesmanship, but I was 100% on you. But right now, you're starting to lose me ever so slightly.
Hey, getting back to you and your role in the game and the lead. Can you remember when you found out you're actually going to be in the side?
The game was on Thursday, so Tuesday, a couple of days before, usually kind of find out just to get an understanding of what your schedule is going to be like with captain's run and stuff like that. But it was a pretty simple conversation. I was just sitting in the hot bath, just having a chat with Darcy Moore, and it's kind of an awkward one, being on the fringe for most of the year. You kind of know whenever these conversations are going to happen during the day, and after weights, it's usually that time, or during weights, it kind of comes up there. And he walked into the room, wherever it was, and kind of told Darcy, I'm either going to be really happy here in about 30 seconds or really pissed off. So he sorted out, and Fly just came over and just kind of gave me a thumbs up, said you're in, and that was the extent of the conversation. So that's all I needed to hear, and just kind of got ready from there.
Are you, and just on that, so do you then just step straight into it, and you know specifically about the role that you're going to play beyond just getting a game? Is there a deeper dive that he has to go into specifically with you, because you've been in and out, just to refine what you have to do?
It's more the assistant coaches. So Scott Selwood, we sat down quite a bit this week and went through some of the finer details of setups and stuff like that. And I think that's probably who you chat to. Like, I think Fly handles more the full kind of like team perspective and stuff. And then whenever it comes to individuals and different lines, he's really good at delegating that to the assistant coaches and making sure everyone's across it. So my kind of communication is probably more with Scoot this week, in the sense of the finer details of making sure I'm across everything and setups and where I'm supposed to be located during certain points of the game,
And on a more broader sense, it was not too long ago they pipped you at the post. When you're coming into this game, and it was such a close game, you guys have had such tight battles. Did you do anything specifically different in the approach to this one, strategically I'm talking, than what you did when you came up short?
Well, mate, there's still a chance we might play Adelaide in the future, so I'm not going to give away too much, brother. But no, I think Adelaide's the formidable side, and I think that's probably shown over the years with how close our kind of games have been. And they play really well. And Tex playing his 300th game and kicking the first goal for him, it was a bit of a moment for him, and something you're happy for Tex in that time, but also you realize that there's going to be a bit of momentum from that. So. No, they're a good team, and I won't give up too much. But we handled the situation pretty well last night, I thought.
My word,
Mason, take us inside the psyche of the group as best as you can. So the form leading in is lukewarm. It's a bit similar to 23, and we all know what happened there. And you played a profound role in the securing of that premiership. Does the group have any doubt when you get into the final and it's a game away from home against the team that's got the best record in the home and away season? It didn't appear as if there was a doubt in the world amongst your group last night about your ability to find your best when it mattered most. Is that what this group is?
It's a funny thing. It doesn't really matter what your record is whenever it comes to finals. It's the beauty of it is everything is essentially on the line. So, the previous stuff and everything that's going to happen doesn't matter anymore. And it's, just essentially game by game. And, Adelaide, like I said, is a really great side that obviously is finished at the top of the ladder for a reason. But for us, I think we kind of back in our experience and back in our ability and everything else to be able to beat anyone that's put in front of us at our best. So, not really scared of anyone, to be honest. We're happy to take on whoever wants to put themselves in front of us and see how they go.
So there's that word experience. And right from the word go this year, from your opening salvo for the 25 season, a couple of people around here in particular were prepared to say that you're too old and you're too slow. And not just you, not you specifically, but the group. When it becomes, and Craig was talking about this after the game, the style of footy that gets played in finals compared to the home and away, how the uncontested stuff disappears. How well built do you feel that this group is to go the whole way again this finals campaign?
Yeah, I think we put ourselves in a really good position, and there's a decent amount of those players that are playing that are part of that core group in 23, and that's experience is invaluable. But it's kind of funny how you say that. At round zero at the beginning of the year, there was plenty of headlines saying all that kind of stuff, and it's funny how things kind of get changed throughout the year, and that sells papers. But I think this time of year, like with the style we play and everything else, it stacks up for finals footy, and finals footy is just completely different to regular season stuff. So we're stoked for it, and we're going to back ourselves in. And
you got a big chunk of time off now before your next game, and I guarantee we'll be chatting about the pros and cons of having a bye and all that type of stuff.
Good for them, I reckon.
But how does it look over the next week or so? How does it look for you personally and for the team and the workloads that you have at this time of the season?
Now we get to kick back. I don't even think we have to be in until Tuesday, so we've got a little bit of free time just to chill out. So I think if you guys might get away or spend some family time and stuff like that, just to kind of, recharge the batteries and fill the cups, as we like to say. So, I think this win against Adelaide and getting a week off is massive. You're looking at essentially playing against someone who's played an extra game over the last 2 weeks, which is a little bit of an advantage. And, for us, we knew kind of how big that win was and what it would do kind of for this finals campaign. So, we're pretty stoked about it. I'm pretty excited just to kick back and watch other people play for the next week and a half, and then see who we're going to line up against come next 2 weeks from now.
And you know what I loved as well? Seeing you bang out the national anthem. Did you see that, Andy?
I didn't pay particular attention to it, but I love the fact that he did.
He's banging it out. Not everyone was banging it out, and you were banging it out. Well done, Meso.
That's weird. I don't know why y'all don't do that. Obviously, Americans, we love to just absolutely, have the American flag everywhere and belt out the national anthem. But sometimes look around opposition and stuff. I don't see too many people actually singing it, which is it's really weird to me. I'm super proud of becoming an Australian and an Australian citizen. I'm very fortunate to be accepted into this country, and whenever you get an opportunity, I think on a big stage like that to kind of be somewhat of a role model of just showing appreciation for everything that happens within this country and the freedoms that we have that some people don't have around this world. I think it's important to at least show recognition.
That is beautiful.
That is one of the most beautiful answers we've had on the wireless.
I'm emotional listening to that.
And I'm not just saying that, mate. So I'm not taking the P155 here. That was beautiful.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people don't realize how fortunate you are, and if you travel this world a bit, you realize how good we do have it in Australia. It's it's got its downfalls everywhere, just like any other place.
Yeah.
But I think if you overlook the whole thing, we're very fortunate to be where we're at, doing what we're doing.
A couple of things. So you got a couple of days off, and I know the focus is very much on resting, recovering, and going again in a prelim, but. There is the reality of like life as a professional footballer, and it's not a bad time, Mason, to be reminding everybody that you've still got a bit of footy left in you. I mean, you step up last night, you play your role brilliantly. Just remind a few people that at the elite level, you still got some game.
Yeah, what are you trying to get at here? Are you trying to mention that I'm out of contract?
It's just a real. There's a lot of talk about that sort of stuff these days with a lot of players, and your name gets mentioned every now and again. But just the timing of last night was very nice.
Yeah, they say big men don't grow on trees, so I'll keep hanging my hat on that one. But it's good to be part of a group that's playing finals, and I'm very, very fortunate to be able to give them the opportunity last night and try to do the most with it.
Hey, give us an insight. Go on.
Nick Dacos, I just marvel at what he does. When you see it day in and day out, do you kind of get to a point where you might take it for granted? Because it's unbelievably spectacular what he can do on a football field.
Yeah, you don't get used to it because you see other people not being able to do it right next to him. You just kind of see him just maneuver through, crowds and everything else, and just be able to do some silly stuff. I'm very fortunate he's on our team, to be honest with you. But I've experienced some of these people through basketball and stuff like that too, where there's just a different level to some of these players that you just kind of look at and you marvel, and you sit back and you go, I'm fortunate just to even be, playing alongside someone like this, and someone you'll kind of talk about in 5-10 years time. You'd be like, I played with that guy back in my day. And Nick's definitely one of those players, along with Josh. I think a lot of people don't realize how good of a year Josh has had.
Yeah.
Josh has been incredible, and I know Nick kind of gets a lot of the spotlight and stuff, but Josh, since his brother's come to the club, I feel like he's just gone to another level, and he deserves just as much credit as Nick does, and it's pretty awesome and wholesome to kind of see these two brothers making themselves better, not only as players but also as people.
Last one, has Bobby Hill still got a role to play in the 25 campaign, do you think?
I'd love to see it. I've got a lot of love for the great man Bobby Hill, and I'm going to do my best in any which way possible to try to make that happen, because there's nothing better than seeing him out there doing his thing and just absolutely selling candy left, right, and center.
Hey, Mason, before we do let you go, and let's hope that there's a good, nice contract coming your way, but if it doesn't quite work out that way, you ever given some thought to coming? Tommy Wilson, you'd know, just come back to
it's not a recruiting campaign, mate.
You never know. The big man played at a very high level, and I think he can contribute on the hardwood as well. Is that part of the plan, perhaps?
Look, Gazzy, I'll say this. There's a price for everything.
Nice. Play it hard.
I'll say this. We can't afford you.
I was just thinking that. That was a subtle way of saying it to you.
Mate, enjoy the next couple of days off and gearing up for the prelim. It's a great footy team and a great footy club you're part of, and it was good to see you back out there last night doing your thing. Thanks for coming on for a chat, and all the best.
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it.
Good on you, Mason.
Mason Cox, 21 past 4.